How do you tell your kid you did drugs? Do you? I worried about this all through my 20s. Before I had a child, I thought I might have a child, and I could spend a lot of time thinking about what it would be to be the ideal parent. See, I grew up in Utah as a Mormon. Yeah. Mormons are not really good on any kind of substances, even legal ones, so alcohol and cigarettes, those are big time sins, but so is coffee and caffeinated tea. So when it comes to illegal drugs, you might as well just kill yourself because you are not coming back from that. I also grew up in the 1980s in Ronald Reagan's war on drugs era and also Nancy Reagan's Just Say No ad campaign. Some of you who are old enough might remember this, but there was this one ad of a TV ad of here's a raw egg. This is your brain. And then you crack the raw egg into a frying, sizzling, pan. This is your brain on drugs. So I actually believed that. But then I went to college and I lost my religion and I lost my virginity and I got down to the business of sinning. So I drank beer and I mixed my alcohols and I smoked cigarettes and I even drank coffee. Yeah. And then one day I was sitting around with some friends and I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll try pot. And I didn't turn into a crack whore like Nancy Reagan said I would. And I also discovered that Saturday Night Live is a lot more fun to watch when you're high. But they still had those stupid Just Say No ad campaigns on. So this one was of a beautiful blonde doing a swan dive into a swimming pool, only when they cut to the pool, there was no water in it. I know, I was really freaked out. So I inhaled, and I thought about my future child, looking at me now, sitting on a dorm room floor with my friends, tapping the filter of a Buddha bong. And I thought, wow, this is not exactly the picture of the ideal parent. What am I going to do when this inevitable question about drugs come up? What am I going to say? I mean, I can't tell the truth, right? Because if I tell the truth, that just means that they're going to do whatever they want. I mean, I need my kids to come by their sins honestly, like I did, right? So I knew I had to lie, but I am a terrible liar, so I had to practice. And this is how it's going to go. Hey, Mom, did you do drugs? No, honey, can't say that I did. And then we were going to have a long talk about the reasons why people might want to do drugs, the kinds of drugs that are out there, where you might see them. You might not even know what's being in front of you, the kinds of reasons why people might feel bad. And by all means, you can always come and talk to me, no judgment. We're going to be total honesty. We were going to do this together. I was ready. So, my son. He's 12 years old. We've just come back from Little League practice. And I'm unloading groceries, and I'm stalking my boyfriend on my iPhone, and I'm thinking about what vegetables to roast, and I hear this. Have you ever been high? Well, yeah, I say. Fuck! Years of planning down the drain because he asked the question the wrong way. What was I going to say? So, yeah, I said. So, yeah, I smoked some pot in high school and college. And, okay, a little bit in the 90s when your dad and I were going to Fish shows. But I haven't done anything since, and certainly that's not something you should do. I don't do drugs, he said. They're illegal. You broke the law. Like, yeah, I said, sure, but it's just pot. It's no big deal. I mean... It's like jaywalking, right? Like, jaywalking is illegal, and you've jaywalked. Only because you made me. Fine. I actually did make him jaywalk, but the car was right across the street, we were late, and there was no other moving vehicle in sight. But by this point, alarm bells were going off in my head, like, I'm missing out on my teaching opportunity. So I said, look, so yeah, okay, there's pot, which is not so great for you, but it's also not that bad for you. But there's other drugs that are worse. Like what? Like smoking crack. Smoking crack? Where the hell did that come from? I swear to God, for a minute, I blamed Spike Lee. I mean, so maybe not crack. Cocaine. Cocaine, like you watch TV or you watch movies, and that's the one that you snort, and it makes you all buzzy and you stay up all night. And then there's ecstasy, which I guess does kind of the same thing, only you listen to a lot of techno music and you love everyone. And then, there's acid, right? So I had a friend who took acid once who told me that when, after a while, he started seeing a lot of floating Buddhas in the sky. What was I doing? It was like I was taking a bath in truth serum. I couldn't stop myself. He looked horrified. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say, son. I'm trying to say that, there's a lot of substances out there, and you might want to try them at some point, and some of them are really bad for you. Like, you want to stay away from the things that you, inject into your arm. And the others, things like, I don't know, like pot, you might want to just, while your brain is growing, it's not so good for you. So, you might want to stay away from them. But if you're tempted, maybe you can wait till college. The look on his face, it was like I was describing something about as plausible to him as voluntarily scouring a toilet. And he looked at me and said, I'm never doing that. That's stupid. I was too stymied by my own incompetence to realize I had just won the conversation. But some sort of self-preservation must have kicked in because I heard myself say, well, I'm glad we had this talk. And then you know what he did? He laughed at me. And it wasn't like one of those, yeah, gotta go, Mom, and watch YouTube. This was like a deep, guttural belly laugh, like, nice try, Mom. When I calmed down a year later, I realized that he had not been asking for a teaching moment. I mean, he asked an honest question, and I gave an honest answer, and including all of the paranoia. He's 15 now. He's a straight-A student, a black belt in Taekwondo, and even sometimes willing eater of spinach. He is way more sophisticated than I was at his age, and I like to think that maybe it's because he sees his mom as a whole human being, complete with insecurities and flaws and all the rest of it. I mean, I'm obviously a complete failure at pretending that I'm unflappable. On his advice, I have given that up. And on my own volition, I have also given up taking parenting tips from Nancy Reagan. Thanks.